Hello and welcome to another edition of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem, a show where we answer your most pressing questions about the most recent episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved, which was the Salem witch trial. So if you haven't seen that, go watch that, then come back here and watch this. All the questions we're answering today came from you guys via our Instagram and Twitter accounts. Now, this may come as a bit of a shock to some of you, but this is not Shane right here. Shane's actually out on vacation for the week, like a douchebag. But fortunately, I was able to record a conversation between me and Shane where we do go over the evidence from Salem because I figured you guys would have questions about that. Here's a little bit of that conversation. So you know what we're doing? We're reviewing the evidence because you're on vacation.
When they watch this, I'll be on vacation.
You'll be gone.
I'll be living it up.
Sipping Bahama Mamas.
Sipping Mai Tais in Maine, baby.
So I'll just cut back between that conversation and the questions that you guys asked. Unfortunately, since Shane isn't here, I'll only be able to answer those questions as well as my guest here. Stop looking at me, it's fucking horrifying. I don't like it. Stop it, stop it. Whoa!
Boo!
It's Stephen Limb, everybody, wow!
Welcome to an episode of Worth It.
Oh my God. All right, so let's get started. And the best part about this is since Shane isn't here, I don't have to do any of those dumb animations.
No, you do.
Nope, we're moving forward.
No.
We're going right for it. Here comes the question.
No, hey, well, hold up. Before you start though, can I put this here?
Sure, go for it. Now it just looks like we beheaded Shane and put it up on our trophy wall here, which is equally disturbing to me. And cut his eyeballs out too.
This was all you. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say at the beginning of this. My position on supernatural, on ghosts, I'm actually not like either of you.
So you're in the middle. All right, let's start with the first question here. This comes from Twitter. This comes from Aya Bunny. Did you really think that dressing up would work? It was really funny, but you couldn't have been serious. Yes, I was dead serious. It makes sense to me logically. Actually, Shane had a bit to say about that too, so let's cut to that. You agreed with my logic.
I thought it was good logic. If you believe in ghosts and you believe that ghosts
Still believe they're alive, right?
you think that they still believe they're alive, so then in that case, yes, it would make sense for us to dress like them and then they'd be more comfortable with us, right? They'd approach us like friends.
That's my line of thought, and I'm very disappointed it didn't work.
You know, I don't think it was the right environment for it. Also, we should probably invest a little bit more in the costumes because those were about $20 and I'm pretty sure they were Halloween costumes.
Yeah, that was our Party City special.
I applaud your creativity.
It's not creativity, it's just logic.
Logic? Logic is 1 + 1. Logic is not getting in a Puritan costume, showing up in the middle of nowhere and looking for ghosts.
Okay, was it funny? Yeah.
Yes, it was
But
funny.
was it plausible that it would work?
Sure, worth a try.
I think it was worth a try. We were the first ghost investigators to ever try that. I don't think I have to explain myself further. I think it was a solid plan. I thought it was solid logic.
I mean, it was hilarious.
Next question from Twitter, @xlaundryx. Question for the postmortem Q&A. Why does the idea of witchcraft seem so outlandish/impossible?
Okay, this is the part that really confused me.
This one really grinded your gears?
Yes, because you do all of this. You're supposed to be going through all the evidence. And then you just dismiss this completely.
Here's the thing. In the episode, it comes off like I just don't believe in witchcraft. I think witchcraft is possible, but in this particular historic incident, it seems like this was not the case. If you look at like the actual history of the trials, the reason why the trials vaulted forward is because they got one person to confess, oh, I was doing witchcraft. And it turns out that one person who did confess, Tituba, was likely tortured and forced to make that confession. And they don't teach you that in history class, which is fucked up. But to me, that's like a ringing red alarm, like, oh shit, this was just a bunch of people going crazy.
Okay, so I see. So it wasn't that you don't believe in witchcraft?
No.
Okay.
From Instagram, this is xxdirectioner_forever. Do you have another theory, your own theory, on why the Salem witch trials occurred? I'm almost positive it was mass hysteria.
I think that it's a combination of mass hysteria and potentially supernatural. I'm gonna look really stupid here, but you just don't know.
So you're saying there's a possibility that someone was maybe trying to practice witchcraft and then it got blown out of proportion by mass hysteria. There wasn't like witches in the sense that they thought there were.
Right.
I could maybe see that.
I have a healthy fear of things that should not be messed with. Do you have a question about the audio device, or should I talk about that now? So you're saying that there's no way that there's a coincidence that there's interference. Oh, you said the ghost said like, take me or something. You said something.
Take it.
Take it.
Actually, let me just take a rough. This is a voice intelligently responding to something I said. I said, I'm gonna take an EVP rating, and then right after I say that,
How does he know what an EVP reading
he
is?
doesn't know what that is. He's
No,
probably
he doesn't.
He's probably like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Take it. See what happens if you take your little reading.
Wouldn't he have some follow-up questions?
No, then maybe like, I don't know, maybe ghosts aren't able to go to that next step of kicking my ass. And maybe he got scared.
Lazy, sloppy.
Lazy.
At the same time, it also sounds like clothes just rubbing up
That
against
does
each other.
not sound like clothes. Okay, how about this? Recreate the noise right now. Do the cadence. Just sounds like bullshit.
I mean, if we had snow and jackets that were rubbing against each other.
None of them know.
Nah.
That's a pretty clear voice right there.
Again, it doesn't sound like a voice.
How does that not sound like a voice?
If you played that for someone without putting your dumb little subtitle on there of what you think it is.
If I took that little bit of audio and I went out into the street and said, what does this sound like to you? They'd be like, oh, someone's saying what?
Oh, absolutely, that's what they'd say.
None of them know.
Why are you always surprised that I don't buy this shit?
Because I'm surprised your ears don't work, that's why.
My ears work fine.
I don't know, I think I'm gonna buy you a box of Q-tips.
I think I'm gonna buy you a punch in the face.
I don't think you could purchase that, but you can get one for free right now, pal, if you want it. But since I'm leaving...
No.
No.
I agree with me there.
Yeah.
I just hear, which could easily just be someone breathing or shifting their weight.
I think
the
you're just
last thing it could be is a ghost.
I feel like
the
it's-
very last thing, Ryan.
It sounds like...
the very
Oh,
last.
very last thing?
The
So
very
what
last
was it? You
thing.
think it's a zombie? A zombie head came out from the ground,
Yeah,
whispered,
sure.
I'm not, and it went right back down.
It could be God farting.
Do you think that was little rock trolls?
Are you referencing Frozen?
Yeah.
The rock trolls from Frozen.
Yeah, where there was a
Nobody
rock...
talks about those shitty rock trolls.
No, okay, wait a sec.
That movie sucks.
Olaf. He's a funny little snowman. I enjoy him.
We know you love Olaf.
I don't love him. I think
love
I think
Olaf.
he's a funny little snowman, and I think that's a perfectly innocent thing to think. I thought these were all three pieces of compelling evidence.
They aren't. They are not.
I think you're just a stingy meat sack. That's what I think.
I'm kind of a stingy meat sack.
Yeah, you're just a big sack of meat that's very stingy.
That's fine.
Shane Stingy Meat Sack Madej.
I don't.
Yeah, that's the new one.
Whatever. I don't care. I'll own it. Anybody looking for the sack?
Oh, don't
That's how I'll
scream.
walk into a party. Maybe we'll bond. Maybe it'll be a Shaniac.
I think
bouncer
you'll
that
bond
night.
with someone's fist.
Sacks out. Sacks out.
All right, well, I'm gonna jump back into Frame with Steven now.
Oh, okay. Have fun.
Because you're on vacation.
Oh yeah, I'm not even here.
But when you're digging through evidence, do you dig through like 8 hours of footage and see all the times where you see interference? Because I could make stuff up all the way, like love me, hate me. You're digging for places that you want to find evidence.
Paranormal science is still a work in progress. I think EVPs I think they're a good indicator of the presence of something else. By no means are they definitive, but I think they're better than most paranormal tools out there. There's a lot of tools that I feel like are strange and people are just reaching. That's why I try to leave it grounded in reality as much as I can. Physical things, seeing, hearing, touching, touch this light, turn this light on, move the ball, say something if you're here. You know, those are things that I'm confident in, and I'm confident in EVP because you're hearing it.
You are just digging.
I'm a scientist, that's what I do.
No.
I'm a ghost scientist. Anyways, that does it for this episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem.
What do we got next? Old big girl? Is that what he does?
Is that your Shane impression? Well, what do we got next, Bergara?
Is that how he does it?
This week we are investigating a haunted hotel. We got a lot of cool evidence in this one, so stay tuned for that this Friday. If you have any questions about that, submit them to our Instagram, Twitter accounts, which you can see right here, and maybe we'll answer them on the next BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem. All right.
Can I rip this?
No, don't rip it.
All right, fine.